Welcome everyone to our daily Forex market analysis call. This is in preparation for trading on September 19th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. All right, so as usual, we'll start off with the Forex factory. So not much happened today. We did have Bank of England Governor Carney speaking. So overall, basically, Governor Carney is in the, he's kind of the opinion that overall we do need to talk about raising rates and so forth. So let's have a quick peek here to see if there was anything else. I wasn't really watching the markets today, so I just want to make sure there was nothing else that came out. So dollar did go up today, and excuse me, there wasn't much else, but just to be sure here. So Prime Minister Theresa May has reshuffled her team of top Brexit negotiators. So Brexit, I think, is going to become more of an issue as we go forward. Oh, Bank of Japan. Yeah, so this one here. Bank of Japan may be shifting their stance as well. So Bank of Japan has been very kind of negative on their monetary policy or on their whole, they're big into quantitative easing, so they have a very loose monetary policy. So I think they may be shifting from negative to neutral in their stance. So they're not quite talking about interest rate hikes, but I think they are shifting their stance. So we'll have to talk about that because the stimulus program that they have had has been quite substantial as well, and they need to start unwinding as well. So the whole central bank theme is very important. So euro, we did see, we'll look at that. It has gone down. US dollar has gone up, and then we have Bank of England Governor Carney. Basically what he was saying was that inflation is rising. So as a result of the inflation rising, we may have to look at interest rate hike soon in terms of British pound, but it won't be soon. So basically it's just a reiteration of his message from last week. So coming up here, very important, we have Australian dollar. We'll take a look at the technicals in terms of Australian dollar, but because the central bank theme is so important right now, market will definitely be watching this one right now. So I am interested in shorting the Aussie, but we would have to wait till after the monetary policy meeting minutes come up. So I'm thinking maybe if it doesn't come out positive, so if they just stand, they don't do anything with their in terms of their language is very neutral. In that case, I think it will drop, and then we'll have to look for a bit of a pullback and then take a trade. But I'm reluctant to take a trade going into a central bank because right now, with so much emphasis on central bank, this could be disastrous. It could go either way, right? So overall, though, I am a little bit negative on Australian dollar. Going into Tuesday here, not a whole lot of data. We have economic sentiment. That's always important. And then we have building permits for the U.S. Current account, which is a trade balance, again, very important. So housing starts will be important as well. So the 8:30 news here will be important for the U.S. dollar, and we could see a move in that. We do have prices, dairy prices for New Zealand, as well as trade balance in the Asian session. But besides this news here, looks like fairly quiet for tomorrow. So let's go on to the charts here. Let's start off by taking a look at our euro dollar here. So euro hasn't done much in terms of the move here. We are right in the middle. The close is bullish here. So we are looking a little positive on this one. So the bias is to the upside. In terms of our target, I'm looking at a 120.30-ish target right about here. So looking for, basically we have tested this level here, and now I'm looking for it to move forward or move higher into 1.2033 level. So if we go into a lower time frame chart, this is the level we are looking at. It could go higher all the way into this previous support and resistance area. into this one here, but this is the first target, 120.30. It also aligns with our R3 here as well. So overall move looks like it wants to push up higher. So our bias would be to the upside. It could get into trouble into 120 level right about here. So this will be an area to watch. So the next target will be this right here. So we'll put those targets in place here. So looking for Euro US dollar to move up higher into 120 level first, and then into 120.30-ish level, which is R3 here. Pound dollar, pound did come down today, but it still has that bullish bias, and the reason for that is because it's holding the previous high. So when the price holds a previous level, chances are it's going to go higher then. So in this case, for it to continue lower, we would have to see a break of this 134.50 level right about here. So right now that level hasn't been broken, so we're looking for a further move to the upside. And in terms of the target, our first target will be the top of this level. So we're looking at 136.20 level as our target to the upside. But let's say the US dollar strengthens further for some reason, and then we are looking for one of these moves. So 134.50 level will be the critical level to watch. As long as price stays above this level, then we are looking for a bullish move to the upside. So overall, the daily bias is bullish for now. Aussie here, we had a bearish close for the day. See, price went and tested this previous support resistance level. We had quite a nice drop here. And right now, it's pulling back. But this is, so based on the technicals here, this looks bearish. So this would be a nice trade to take. However, because of the central bank, we're going to sit aside for a bit. So I may send out a trade tonight, but if I don't, look on your own and keep an eye on this one. So this one will be interesting depending on what the central bank says. So if they are neutral, if they don't change anything, then it will be negative for Australian dollar. However, if they follow in step with other central banks and start talking about tightening monetary policy or raising rates, that will be positive for Australian dollars. So though that's the variable that we need to look at, but from technical aspect, this looks like it wants to move lower, and our target would be 7900 here, so 0.7900. So if we take a look at pullback, so 7970 level is the first pullback level. So this is where we are. So this is a nice pullback level. It could pull up higher. So this is where we are. It could pull into this pivot point level here as well, which is also the previous support and resistance, excuse me, or it could pull up all the way over here. So those are the couple of levels I would keep in mind. So 70 or 0.800, if it pulls up there, then the move that we are looking for is price pulls up, runs into resistance, support becomes a resistance, and then we see a drop to the downside. So this will be my favorite scenario to look for. I would like to see the price pull back into this level. So I'll monitor for that. So 0.800 is the level that we're looking for, and we're looking for a bounce off of that level. However, if it doesn't pull all the way up there, then we could look for this support and resistance level here, which is close to our pivot point, 7980 level. And in that case, we're just looking for price to push up into 7980, and then if that acts as resistance, just looking for a drop from there. But overall, the bias on this one is bearish. From technical perspective, of course, central bank can change everything, so do keep that in mind. New Zealand dollar here, we have a very nice daily pin bar on this one. So between Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, those are the two pairs that are nice for a short. So we have a bit of a divergence between the two. So there is a trade opportunity between the divergence here as well. So Euro New Zealand or Euro Aussie, Pound New Zealand or Pound Aussie, all those will be bullish as well, because Australian and New Zealand dollar are bearish, whereas Euro and Pound are bullish. So those crosses could present a good opportunity as well. Euro pound, we'll take a look at that. They're both strong, so I will take a look at that. Euro pound has dropped quite a bit, which just makes me a little bit nervous, but we'll take a look at that for sure. So, excuse me. So New Zealand US dollar, this is bearish here. So looking for a further move to the downside. In this case, the target that I'm watching would be 7,200. So it's at 7,265, looking for a bit of a price to pull back a bit first and then drop. So this is kind of messy price action here. Looking at the 1 hour chart here, the pivot point level here is a good potential level for a pullback. It comes into previous resistance level, also the pivot point level. So basically we're looking for price to push up into that level and then drop. So the target would be 0.7200. So that those are our lines that will keep them here. Overall, though, nice daily pin bar. So looking for a further continuation of that move to the downside. Dollar CAD here on the daily, we have finally broken through this level here. Price has closed up higher. So this looks bullish on the day here. And in terms of the pullback, 122.50 level here, this will be a nice pullback level. So basically price to pull back kind of like that and then push up higher. The target, actually we could have a closer target here. The first target will be the high of this one. So 123.50 level will be the first target, and then it could go higher into that. So that's what we're looking for. So commodity currencies are suffering a bit right now. So keep that in mind. Okay, Euro Swiss very bullish here, and it could break through. So we are seeing that bit of a triangle pattern being formed here. So we could see a break to the upside. So price could do one of these. Then, so this, when we see a break of 115.20 to the upside and a retest of that level, that would be the time to take a trade. Right now, it is bullish. So we're looking for a pullback into this trend line here and then looking for a move to the upside. So bullish on Euro Swiss. Pound Swiss franc, very bullish here. So looking for a further move to the upside. 128.50 could be a pullback level, and the target, actually let's do this one here. So it's still excuse me, it's still sitting above, just like pound dollar is. It's still sitting above the previous high. It is into resistance like we have talked about before, but it is looking bullish. So we are aiming for 130.65 level, so just basically retest of the high here, and then we will see how price reacts at this level. If it holds the high, then we would be looking for another move to the upside. So even though the candle close here is bearish, but because it's holding above the previous high, it still has that bullishness left in it. Dollar Swiss franc here, very, very neutral close for the day, pins on both sides of the candle, and we have a small body. So very neutral close. This one could go either way, so probably not the best one to trade. Pound yen here, excuse me, neutral close for the day, not much going on. So in this case, we'll have to take a look at the retest of the highs. So if price goes into the highs and is not able to break through, then we are looking for price to drop, and the first target will be 150.20. So that will be the target here. But the most important thing is to see how price handles the retest of the high 151.50. So if the price is not able to break through that, then this could start moving lower. So it is into an important, like it has broken above this big level. So now the test is, can it break above this here? But if Bank of Japan changes their stance on their monetary policy, this could drop, because If they even shift their stance, because they have been so negative for so long, if they go from negative to neutral, that will actually be bullish for Japanese yen. So Japanese yen crosses can suffer. So again, we have a lot of central bank activity this week. So do keep in mind some of those nuances as we are trading. This one here looks bullish at the moment. It has broken through key levels. And now if we take a look at it, the target is into 134.70. So this looks quite bullish here. And if we just, so let's go backwards here. We just need to squish our chart. So yeah, so that looks like a good target, 134.70. We may have some over here, so that 133.80 will be the first target, then 134.80 will be the next target to the upside. This looks bullish as well, very, very bullish close on the day. So we're looking for further move to the upside in Euro Yen as well. Aussie Yen bullish close for the day. Sorry, neutral close for the day. We are into the highs. So this is the same scenario as pound yen here as well. If Aussie drops, though, this is likely to drop as well. So this one doesn't seem like it has as much strength as euro or pound. So this one looks a little weak. So price could drop, and but it could go test up a little bit. So let's take a look at where we could see a potential retest here, potentially into that level. So 89.07 or even slightly higher into that level. So 89.10-ish level. So price could go into that. So just push into that and then drop. So we could see one of these moves. It is into pivot point right now. So if it holds below the pivot point, then it could just drop from right here because it's testing the pivot point. So pivot points I usually like. So this is where price is sitting. If it doesn't close above the pivot point, then we could see price come back down. And this S1 is a really nice target. So 88.50 makes a good target, which is not that far. And then we could go even further with that if it starts to drop. So the RBA will have a big impact on this. So second target would be 88.00. New Zealand yen. New Zealand overall, it did go up, but it has closed with a big wick, a long wick to the upside. So because of that, we are also into strong support and resistance level here. So this looks more bearish than anything because of this big rejection, even though the candle closes green. But because of this large wick here, we're looking for price to retrace or come back down. So the first target is 80.50, and then we're looking for about 80.30 level over here. So New Zealand yen is something I would keep in mind because New Zealand overall, New Zealand dollar is weak. So New Zealand yen could drop. Aussie here. Let's take a look. Bullish close for the day. We could see a further move to the upside here. In terms of the pullback, 111.30 looks like a good pullback level, which is this previous high. So if it stays above the previous high, then chances are it's likely to go up, but if it pulls back further, it could pull back all the way into this level 111.00. So that's something to keep in mind. If it stays above this level, then we are still bullish on this one. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. So right now, so it looks like it wants to pull back. It's just a matter of where it pulls back to. So we'll leave that at 111. Euro pound. Euro pound has broken down. Now this one here, this will be the key support and resistance level. So 88.99, so about 8,900 level here. So that's the key. Now, as long as price stays below that, it's still bearish. But if the price is not able to break this one, so 88.66, if it gets stuck here, then we are also looking for a further move to the downside here. Overall, this is quite bearish. Even though it has pulled back, it still hasn't lost its bearish bias. And we could see a further move into 87.80 level. So this will be the first target to the downside. But overall, larger trend is to the downside. And if it doesn't break 88.60 level, then it will continue lower. But it could pull back higher into this level. So 8,900 will be the second pullback level we have to watch out for. But even in spite of this, unless we can actually engulf this previous candle, the bias will still stay to the downside. Okay, so Euro Aussie, this is one of the crosses that I was suggesting earlier. We have a bullish a bullish candle close here. So we're looking for a further move to the upside in Aussie, Euro Aussie. So the variable again will be the central bank. Aside from that, this overall, from just even fundamental and technical perspective, Aussie, my bias on Aussie is more bearish than Euro. So overall, Euro Aussie, I would be bullish on this, but daily close is bullish as well. So in terms of pullback in this, we could see 49.80 level or pull back into there. So somewhere in there. So there's a bit of a mess in terms of support and resistance here. So 49.80 level or 49.62-ish level. So this right about here. So looking for a bit of a pullback and then a further move to the upside. But overall, this is bullish, and we just need to see where it finds support, and then we're looking for a further move to the upside. So definitely bullish, and target will be 1.5080 level up here. It could go slightly higher into 115.90 level. So actually, let's keep it there, but keep in mind the 80 level. So it's about 10 pip difference, but overall, this is bullish. Okay, that's all. Any questions? Anything to add? So in terms of, I'm going to watch the Aussie here and the New Zealand. So I will keep an eye. So I'm watching Aussie, New Zealand, yen. Those are some of the crosses I'm going to be keeping an eye on. And once the central bank announcement, monetary policy meeting minutes come out, after that I may have a trade alert. So just keep that in mind. But it will be after 9:30 p.m. Eastern, because that's when this comes up. So if it drops, for example, then we have to wait for a pullback. So I may not have enough time to send the trade alert out, but keep that in mind and wait for the pullback and then a continuation move to the downside. So that's kind of the strategy that I am looking for tonight. All right, so if there are no other questions, we'll call it a wrap, and I will see you guys in the morning. Bye for now.